or even just stand your ground and output serious damage. Yeah, always want to fly there. He's arrived in Singapore. He's behind his players.
Nice. Good to know he's there to help the boys out. But yeah, it's a tough position to be. You show up and your team's already, down near the bottom of the group facing elimination. So we'll see if we can right the ship here. Definitely the faces on some of the Talon players not looking all the cheeriest after a Game 1 loss to Beast Coast, and can't totally blame them, but it does feel like they are struggling to find drafts and things that work for them.
I gotta get pumped up for this one. Need a victory here. Getting rid of some of those Enigma counters in the lane. Sven and Gyro gone. So K1 gonna have to reconsider his carry pool and what options they want there.
Good news is that means Whisper's heroes have been untouched, unbanned, so he can have his pick of the litter. He's getting to lane likely with a Marcy, so there's a lot of fun lanes with Marcy. Stuff like Batrider comes to mind as potential kill lanes. We saw the Dawnbreaker last game, but typically with Marcy, you're just looking like, okay, who's going to take advantage of this rebound initiation and be able to go for all these kills and play super aggressive.
Yeah, I want him to bring back the Lesh, honestly. His Lesh in season 2 of the DPC, season 3 of the DPC was just spectacular. And he was landing stuns without any setup. And if you add a rebound in there, it makes it all the easier for him. There's also a hero we've seen used pretty well against Enigma. His front line as this position 3, do a lot of damage, push towers, and adds into this kind of death ball around the Shadow Fiend that we've seen a lot of. But they, again, ban out the Lesh and the Puck themselves. My dreams are crushed by Beast Coast.
Maybe they'll try to pick it and just forgot they were banning, Don't worry, Gary. You're onto something. I thought you were onto something. I think the main issue with Leshek is if they end up with Lesh SF plus a carry and don't have any playmaking core, but I don't know. I don't think that's the end of the world if that's the case. Especially with the way their supports play.
Now, I guess it's like Occam's razor, right? It's the easiest solution to the problem you've got. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Vengeful Spirit. So another way to deal with the Enigma. You've got the swap always there to cancel it out or save a teammate. And it adds into your aura strat. If this is a Beastmaster next, you've got SF Venge Beastmaster.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things, maybe the underrated aspect of Beast Coast Game 1 draft that caught Talon by surprise is just the sheer pushing power that SF brings to the table. In those mid-game fights and pushes. And it's something they used to, put a lot of pressure on Talon and take a lot of towers. You combo that with Avenge, and like you say, you get a Beastmaster, you get some kind of other pushing cores, and suddenly this game can get really tricky for Talon. Naga's in the pool again, too. I actually don't mind if they just want to go for another Naga game as well.
Yeah, it would work out for them. I mean, last game, all that minus armor, they had SF, Naga, plus the familiars and stuff from the Visage. Back in that game against the Morphling, it felt real good. You're shredding through his armor, and then if he's shifting strength, you've still got a lot of damage to kill him off. And in this kind of game, against Enigma, you said Shadow Fiend can kind of stand his ground and hit the Enigma down. Add in a bit more minus armor, and buff people up.
It does feel like the Leshek ban suggests they want maybe the Naga. Talon using all their reserve time to figure this one out. They picked the Bat, maybe also a bit of a block pick, like the Batrider plus Marcy. And then they get the CM themselves this game. So they're going for what looks to be a Batrider mid against SF. I think you're worried about the Marcy plus Batrider lane. And also Batrider's a decent option when it comes to the mid lane to have another hero similar to the Queen of Pain who has that kill threat onto the SF. It's still similar to the Co-op. It's not the easiest matchup. SF Razor's just so good at controlling the mid lane, and Batrider's going to get bullied. We saw this matchup yesterday, and Batrider got destroyed. But with support rotations, Batrider can do well, and CM Tusk are both great supports to rotate with.
Oh, they sure are. I'm kind of wondering about this Venge as well. The potential for flex is still there, and this could be the 3 Venge for Whisper, potentially. Then you've got Venge Marcy lane. Naga comes out again, but still a little bit of flexibility going into this last pick. But I think more likely than not, it's going to be a Whisper hero, the Beastmaster, or some kind of team fight initiation, which... Now, this time around, they're lacking a little bit. They don't have that clockwork to just go straight on in.
Yes. Yeah, the Venge, especially if you're saving swap to cancel Black Hole, you're looking just at your Marcy's initiator. Talon going to ban out the Visage from last game, but I wouldn't mind seeing something for Whisper that does play a bit more as a team fight starter, or maybe even kind of frontliner for the SF. That's a bit of what the role the Visage could fill. You're pretty tanky and at least able to send your summons and familiars in to kind of wreak havoc. So We'll see what the plan's going to be for Beast Coast around at their draft, but Talon have to figure out what 23 Savage carry they want first.
Yeah, it's like if they ban Visage Beastmaster here, there's still heroes out there like the Tide, grab up a Magnus or something, the Underlord, but there's also Lycan out there as well. May not be an actual team fight hero, but he's still that ability to very quickly get the tempo going for Beast Coast here.
Yeah, I quite like the idea of something like a Lycan pick. They banned the Tide you mentioned, and we'll see where Beast Coast end up, but it may also just depend on the matchup like that they're going to have for their offline. Like, they're going to get to see what carry 23 Savage picks, so there may be something where it's like, okay, here's the counter pick that's going to ruin this carry's day.
10 seconds remaining.
Or maybe we see the position 1 Batrider come out from Talon. BetBoom tried it. It didn't work out very well.
That sounds...
I know.
I would say that sounds pretty questionable.
Abysmal. It was abysmal.
Well put. Pudge?
It's just like if it was a Lycan, we pick the bat, cruise over the Lycan, but yeah, gonna be 23 Savages as last pick here. Some kind of agi carry.
Yeah, he wants. I don't think they wanted Pudge. I think they need damage here. They got Batrider, Enigma. Like, who's your scaling? Who's your carry? It doesn't have to be like a super late game one, but it's definitely going to be like some kind of at least mid game strong like carry to match up against CSF. Sniper maybe is an option, but it doesn't do well against Naga just as well against CSF. So they get the monkey. All right.
Okay. Yeah, Wukong's works. I guess they're put off the Morphling because of the game 1 performance.
Yeah. I mean, Beast Coast showed they had plenty of answers for it between the Naga and the SF. I think the Naga particularly being a bad matchup, but definitely the Morphling into SF has always looked and felt good. So put off by game 1 a bit. And similar story to game 1. Talon really looking to have strong lanes, like CM plus Monkey lane. But this is the problem. You don't know your lane matchup. You pick Monkey, and, well, of course, Beast Coast, they're going to go ranged core. Like, you're not picking a melee offlaner into a Monkey King, and they get Venomancer to give 23 Savage a rough time.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Monkey blocks all those strength heroes, blocks all the melee heroes, but a Whisper with a Venomancer. You give them so much vision here with Wave of Terror, with these Plague Wards, Nargit Illusions, all looking to scout out the members of Talon to allow them to start the fights through the Venge and the Marcy. They don't really have the best hero of actually charging forward and being that bodyguard to start things off. But Talon again with some pretty decent lanes, hey, Gods.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's really where they're looking to shine, is just crushing these lanes, rotating their supports a lot. The CM Tusk, the Batrider may struggle a bit, but there's always that kill threat where maybe SF misplays and Batrider can punish. But come mid to late game, I start to worry about Talon. Like, you're relying on some of these things like the Enigma with Blink Black Hole, but how are you getting that off? There's a Venge swap. There's also the Venom Plague Wards to scout things out, so you're maybe not getting Blink off. Whether it's Batrider or Enigma, you're being scouted out, and they don't have a way really to scout or, find enemy heroes themselves outside of Eidolons, which is, not really the most reliable.
Yeah, what's the plan for 23 Savage on this Monkey King, like item wise? It feels like you need to scale. Yeah.
It could be. It's your only way of going late game against Naga Siren, and yeah, you're versing Naga Siren and Illusion, so Battle Fury could be. I think it's Battle Fury or Maelstrom. I think Maelstrom's maybe the less greedy option because Battle Fury's just not really considered that good of an item.
Actually, it feels like he also needs to fight early on as well, and part of the reason why they've picked Monkey King is he can get involved. I feel like he can't be hyper greedy this game. We'll see what he does, though, as we head into game 2. Beast Coast against Talon. Both teams desperate for wins here at the bottom of their group. I mean, Talon in particular, they need a win to really have a chance of staying in TI. And Beast Coast looking to get back up to that middle of the table with a 2-0 victory here if they can claim it. A very similar draft to their game 1 victory with this Naga, Shadow Fiend, and a lot of minus armor and buffs to put on them.
Yeah, a bit less of like this scary push around, like, last game they had SF Visage. This time around they've replaced it with a Veno, which I think pushes these early tier 1 towers pretty well, but like doesn't have the same mid game push quite as much because Plague Wards are good when you're like level 7, 8, 9, but as the game goes on they get easier and easier to deal with.
Well, Mikoto hiding his Observer Ward, showing on the lane, but dropped his obs just behind the trees. He'll find it again. I'm trying to hide this ward placement from himself. Gojira trying to scout things out though, and already a dire observer ward placed on the Radiant side of the river. And they've pinged it out. I do wonder if they saw him doing that.
Yeah, I don't think they saw him plan it, but they, I think, got vision of him after the ward had been dropped, so they may have an idea. Beast Coast get themselves 3 of the 4 runes, so slightly better start for them, but we'll see how some of these lanes go. Particularly, I think, eyes on this mid lane, SF lanes, like against, I mean, last game against Quap, this time around against the Batrider. There is that slight threat of a kill.
Yeah, from both of them, the outplay potential is there. Stinger and Whisper, they were chasing Q, but 23 Savage and Hyde, they're here looking for the Venomancer kill, and some good shards has blocked Whisper in. Crystal Nova slows him down, but lacking damage here. Needed the shard, so couldn't go for tag team or snowball to close the gap even further. But they've zoned Whisper completely out of the lane, it looks like.
Marcy's keeping in. Are they looking to counterplay this?
It seems so, yeah. Gojira punching back. Gale level 1, shards again onto Whisper, pops his Fairy Fire around the stick. Surviving through the damage, while Q, the Fairy Fire needed to secure them a bit of safety, but it's Gojira. Grabs first blood. Stinger and Gojira making up a tri-lane with a Venomancer up top.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's necessarily what Beast Coast had in mind, but with all the lane swaps happening, Talon sending Monkey King to the off lane, Venom's going to find his way up here, so a 1v1 down bottom between K1's Enigma and between K1's Naga and KP's Enigma is a bit unorthodox, but I think Beast Coast will be okay with this.
And Hyde was still trapped behind the top tier 1 in the trees. Walks past, but there's already a pull here from Gojira. Dragging the wave back. Giving a bit of room for Whisper to try and regen back up. Pops his salve, but the attempt from the Monkey and the Tusk back onto the Veno, but a quick turnaround from Stinger and Gojira. A lot of poking here in this top lane. But it feels like the tri-lane's just not where they want to be.
Yeah, I mean, CM's a very good trial in here, but I wouldn't rate Monkey King as the best here. He has gone for an early point in the Boundless Strike. And the CM plus Tusk have a lot of kill threat, particularly around level 2. Like when CM has both Frostbite and Nova and Tusk throws in a snowball, I think Beast Coast is going to have to play super passive up here against level 2 Tusk CM, but this is not the important lane for them. Like, they don't mind if Whisper doesn't get a ton of farm, because Naga, I'm pretty sure, wins this 1v1 against Enigma, at least goes even. And mid lane SF is going to win the matchup against Batrider. So the 2 key lanes for Beast Coast are being won, even though this top lane is a bit rough.
Yeah, like especially when Naga hits level 4, level 5, she can start cutting waves or just send an illusion on towards the Eidolons to try and kill them off. And K1's already, what, 12 and 2? Enigma's going to get a fair few denies in here, but it's not going to be easy for KP whatsoever.
I think, yeah, as levels come out, Naga, this lane just gets better and better for Naga. As your items come out also, like just, you know, your treads and whatnot, you get your Yasha, and you're just going to be farming jungle plus the lane, and nobody's really contesting you.
Hyde winning out on that sentry battle on the small camp. Keeps it blocked up. It doesn't look like there's any further sentries coming. Stinger buying up a ton of regen. And Crystal Maiden still trying to keep them at bay, but level 1's and a great rebound. Gojira, he's in there. Drags back Q. Stinger with a magic missile. The attempt to deny is not going to pay off for Talon. And Hyde is being slowed down here.
You're still level 1.
Poison Sting.
Yeah, that's the thing. They won the race to level 2. This CM, 1 experience point. 239 out of 240 experience points. 1 XP away from level 2.
That's so sad. And Savage, tagged by the Gale. A good magic missile onto the Tusk now, and yeah, he's got a snowball. Level 2's here for a few of these Talon heroes. Back onto Gojira, but Hyde, he will die. A killing spree for the Marcy while 23 Savage getting taken down by this tri-lane of Beast Coast. I mean, it's unconventional, unorthodox, but it's working.
Yeah, I think they messed up giving all the XP. Monkey was getting solo XP, and CM and Tusk were like fighting for pulls, and you mentioned the D ward. They needed to be leeching XP to get level 2. Like, level 2 is where they crush this lane, and somehow, like, the CM at both their level 2s were delayed so heavily that things went really badly for them. They're looking to switch things up. Hyde TP's mid on the Tusk, not for a bottle refill. I assume he was looking for a kill here, but SF seems to be wary of this.
Yeah, Chris Luck's at his tier 1.
Yep.
Just walking around. He's got 5 wand and a fairy fire.
And he has the high ground ward, so he saw that once, you know, Tusk poked his head out, he saw the Tusk there, and Tusk will have to make the walk towards top lane.
Gojira and Stinger both ready and waiting for him, though. Got another pull off, this time on the large camp. 23 Savage, having spent his boundless strike, getting jumped upon by Gojira. Q walks forward. They have to try and give her life for the rest of them as Whisper pounced on by the primal spring of the Monkey King, but with all the stick charges, Whisper's fine, and yeah, Talon can't give chase. Spreading a lot of damage across 3 heroes, though, as they do get back onto the Whisper Venno. Q with enough damage. Bursts him down, but Gojira is now the carry. Dominating on this Marcy, 4-0-1.
Yeah. QCM getting all these mangoes in a second round of spells off. He hit like double Nova, double Frostbite there. Yeah, you're just not... I think that's the strength of CM. You never expect the short cooldowns on her spells, and the fight lasts long enough that they get a second round off and do barely kill the Venomancer there. But again, I think you're fine with this if you're Beast Coast because of how some of these other lanes are going.
Oh, another go on hide and a long-range dispose drags him into Whisper's damage. This time the Venno to pick up the kill.
And perhaps a little surprising to me, this SF versus Batrunner lane going different to how we saw it last time. Last time we saw it, SF kind of dominated, and this time around Makoto, he started slow, losing the last hit battle, but since getting his levels, he's actually winning the lane now, keeping the SF away and too afraid for his life to actually play the mid lane.
So, black hole bottom though.
Okay.
KP catches out K1, and it looks like some lane swap's going to happen. Yeah. 23 Savage has made the call that he wants the safe lane, kick KP out of here and send Enigma top.
See if Naga comes back down bottom or decides to swap lanes as well. Very unusual scenario where some of these cores are just kind of... You have these trial lanes and people just get underleveled.
And Makoto with Hyde. Trying to play mid. K1's come to take up that bit of space in the lane.
Saying Naga's maybe the hero to address the Batrider for now, but I'm not sure K1 wants to stick around here for too long.
And they're on top of Gojira. Rebounds away. Crystal Nova and Frostbite, very irritating spells to deal with. But with the catapult wave, it looks like Talon making an effort of chipping away at this objective and maybe just going to go for it with the Eidolons here as well.
Force Whisper to rotate on the Venno. He's got level 2 Plague Ward, so, you know, not bad at defending and delaying this at least, but they need to get this Siege Wagon down.
Eventually, we'll get it done. Tier 1 took an absolute beating there. 1,100 damage in that short period of time from Talon. And in the meantime, Chris Luck, he's farmed away at the top jungle, kept himself safe, as has K1 after dying to the black hole.
Yeah, I think for K1's game, it's, you know, obviously good that they kill him, but it hasn't really slowed him down too much. He had the free farm in bottom lane, and getting solo XP as a Naga Siren is really nice. Like, you just farm so much faster when you get these levels. Having higher levels of mirror image as well as the Riptide just accelerates your farming, and that's going to be a really nice big part for K1's game.
Makoto, oh, dragged under tower.
Oh, no.
The raises not even required from C-Smile, just one of them used as the chain stuns from the 2 supports of Beast Coast find a really important kill.
Big find for them. Slowing down the big playmaker of this Talon team, and they've got an Enigma Monkey, and the Monkey looking to kind of catch up and farm. He needs levels. He needs some farm in this bottom lane, so killing off this Batrider who'd had such a good start to the game is a really big thing for Beast Coast.
It looks like they'll try and catch Stinger up top, but Talon are so afraid. Yeah. Shadow Fiend coming in for the right-hand side. A snowball to dodge the rebound of Marcy. Whisper, he'll tag him with the Gale, though, and that allows Gojira to close the gap. Gets C-Smile another kill. Really keeping Talon away from that top tier 1. Keep their map space and defend their jungle.
Yeah, KP's really trying to pressure these towers with all the early farming levels he got. He goes from mid to top, but wherever he goes, the Venom's following now. Like, previously, Beast Coast wanted the Venom versus the Monkey, but now that Enigma's pressuring lanes, they're much happier with this Venom tower defense.
The catch on Chris Luck, though. Lassoed, and they've still got Snowball to play with. The Dispose attempting to save him, but it's not going to help. Bat and Tusk pairing up in the mid lane. Gojira and Stinger trying to run back. Stinger going to stand his ground a little here. They do have a backstab from K1, aiming for the Crystal Maiden. And Beast Coast supports, they've caused problems here for Talon. They've dragged them in deep, baiting the Maiden and the Tusk, and it looks like both Q and Hyde gonna die. K1 grabs a double kill.
Yeah. Meanwhile, top lane KP almost went down to the Poison Nova, but had the TP out, so he's been bullied away from this top lane where he was trying to farm and pressure this tower, so Whisper not quite enough damage to get the kill, but defending both mid and top lane, all of this while, again, the K1 Naga just continues to accelerate and farm. He's just got the maxed out illusions, he's just farming his way through the jungle. And once he gets an item or two, you expect him to play kind of in the enemy jungle and cut all those waves and make life incredibly hard for Talon to do anything.
I mean, it feels like frantic right now for 23 Savage, trying to farm out neutral camps, push out this bottom lane, get that Maelstrom as quickly as you possibly can, because you need this heavy hitter, the Monkey King, to really be involved in some of these early game team fights. Curious to see if Beast Coast want to try and catch him and kill him, because right now they are on a fishing expedition top, getting ward down, looking for anybody. But Hyde and KP, they are in that tree line behind their tower.
Yeah, I wonder if they saw this smoke or something, because they seem well aware of it. They've KP really tucking himself away and hiding. And C-Smile, yeah, finds the D ward there. So a lot of this Radiant Vision's kind of being taken away now, and we'll see if anything breaks down this top lane. The Beast Coast support you have been so good. 0-0-10 on Stinger's Venge and 4-0-6 on the fact they haven't died. Usually it's the supports who are dying, but they're both involved in all 10 of these kills.
Well, it was tri-lane against tri-lane, and they only have one death on the Veno.
Yeah.
You know, compare that to what? The Maiden with 4, the Tusk with 4, the Monkey with 1. That's a 9-to-1 difference, tri versus tri. A huge victory the first 4 minutes for Beast Coast.
Yeah, Talon found all their kills in side lanes, like you mentioned the black hole down bottom, and then the rotation mid for the SF, but an absolute disaster of a tri lane for Talon.
And now looking at Beast Coast, both supports level 6. They've got Swap and Unleash. Kind of want to hold the swap for the black hole, so we'll see if Stinger...
Requiem down bottom. Invis, Requiem.
Oh, the kill onto the Monkey King potential here with the triple raises. Chris Luck, good shout. Finds the takedown on the Monkey King alone.
The patience, just classic. This is like the old school Lothar's Shadow Fiend, where you just go around looking for invis blow-ups, but with the new fear, it sets up a triple raise, and great kill for him to get.
They're still looking top as well. They've held back this Enigma, making sure the KP doesn't have the free push on that dire tier 1. Keeping vision over onto Hyde and Q, but Whisper may be overstepping a little here now. But Gojira with the Unleash, a lot of damage onto Hyde and the Black Hole onto 2. Enough damage here from Talon with the control of KP. They will lose Hyde in the end, but that's a statement from Talon. We'll bring everything, chuck the kitchen sink at you, and now we can push the tower.
Yeah. Given how the state of this game has gone, I don't blame Talon for doing it, but at the same time, for Beast Coast, they're just going to be saying, okay, look at that big commitment, and now we've got a Batrider kill mid K1, 1 or 2 more right clicks, and there he gets it with the Riptide damage. This Naga's just gone untouched this entire game, and Talon kind of had to bring almost overcommit to the top lane just to kill a support and an offlane Veno.
Yeah, complete freedom for Chris Luck at the same time, bottom lane. And they've not even taken the top tower. It felt like that should have been the opportunity off the back of that black hole to get something done on the map. But every single dire tier 1 is still up, pretty healthy. And bottom lane, C-Smile, he is out on his own. Tries to race down the creep wave, but Q with a freezing field and the rest of them arriving. Take out the Shadow Fiend. Much needed kill there for Talon.
East Coast just trying to get a little bit too much farm on the map and some of their greed being punished. This is what Talon's draft is kind of built to do, is go for a lot of these early kills, like the CM Tusk support duo with a Monkey King who's been caught in the trees, but no follow-up damage. He'll be okay. But yeah, definitely a draft that wants to fight early and really try and play around kills and punish the greed of Beast Coast. Something they've done okay with a couple of kills in SF, but as far as Naga's game goes, she has not really been punished at all.
Yeah, complete freedom for K1. One of the scariest things in the world, as he's going to catch the Batrider again. Another kill for the Naga Siren, 4-1-0.
Just baiting the rune and finding an easy kill.
Yeah, has his Manta. Looks like he's going to go back for the Diffuser Blade again. Opting to go for a little more tempo on this Naga Siren. Tier 1 mid lane claimed up. Wukong's from Savage. trying to catch out the Vengeful Spirit here with a snowball on top of Stinger, and they will finally get the first kill of the game on the Venge.
They finally killed both of these pesky supports once apiece, but if you're Beast Coast, you're thinking much more about the Nagas game. And while K1 did die that one time down bottom, he's gone completely uncontested. 2,000 net worth advantage over the Monkey King, 3,000 over the Enigma, and more over the Bat Rider. And then the second most farmed here in the game is the Shadow Fiend, who's going to have BKB plus level 12 fairly soon. So everything seems to be clicking here in game number 2, once again for Beast Coast.
Yeah, and it's the expenditure that you need here from Talon. A Black Hole for a support and an offlane, or a Wukong's for a support. You're spending these big ultis to get a kill, but you're not really regaining any traction on the map. Beast Coast are just causing so much friction here by sending the Veno Marcy top. There's kill threat from them. There's tower defense from them. Bottom lane, you know, being shoved out by Naga illusions. While Naga and SF, they are, you know, hiding. They're playing from fog, just farming jungle, with Venge playing in front of the SF. Stinger, you know, going to die again here, but the fact that he's going to keep Naga and SF alive and still scaling doesn't feel particularly bad for him.
Yeah, it's similar story. Like, as long as these cores are farming on the Beast Coast side, I think they're going to feel like they've got this superior late game. And these kills aren't really transitioning to anything. Like, if you're Talon, you generally want to be getting kills and then turning into objectives. They've not really pressured a single dire tower outside of that mid-tier one a bit earlier on. It's just been constant defense from this Venom.
All right, they've got to pick up the pace. Someone needs to bang the drums of war. Get onto Whisper with the snowball. And Tide is there with a tag team, but a good Requiem. And it's big onto the Enigma, and Gojira with the Unleash will take down KP. Look for Q's Maiden now. A freezing field will do some serious damage onto Gojira, but they've got the jump back in and a cut on the tree. They've caught the monkey. Gojira's going to turn and fight with the lasso on the Shadow Fiend. Turning back onto C-Smile. The flame break's there, but Chris Luck, can he stand his ground and keep on fighting? Dies in the end as K1 with Stinger come in to clear up and get the team wipe. C-Small with an ultra kill, nearly had the rampage, nearly clutched it out, but my goodness, Beast Coast fighting so hard around this top portion of the map.
Yeah, and they're the ones who don't have to fight, but they can choose to do so because Talon have just overcommitted so heavily in the Venomancer. Once he gets off his spells there, the Poison Nova plus throwing out some Spirit Vessels, he just survives for so long here initially. It's just such a hard fight for Talon, who are just too underfarmed to really force this one. Enigma gets no chance to get any kind of a black hole off, so from there, it's just game over. As a desperate CM ulti, we'll see here again, doing some good damage on Gojira, but it's just too little too late. Not that tree cut was just so sick as well.
Chef's kiss. Yeah, really beautiful stuff. I mean, with a sidekick, if Chris Lock got like one hit in there, he probably survives, probably gets the rampage, but it's still a big victory for Beast Coast.
Yep.
I think you've hit the nail on the head as well with this Enigma. It's such a struggle. You know, pre-BKB, you've got Fear, you've got Rebound, you've got Venge Stun, and then after BKB, you still have Swap. A KP needs so many items this game to feel just comfortable using his ulti.
Yeah. He's going for the Blink Dagger, hoping for some kind of miraculous, like, okay, they group up as 3 or 4 and I hit everyone in Black Hole while maybe Bat Rider deals with the Venge or something. A lot of conditions need to be met with this Blink Dagger for KP to get a Black Hole off.
Gojira with his Naga illusions zoning the Enigma away from the top tower as well.
Now there's Aegis in play. That Roshan was just free as can be for Beast Coast, and they're hunting for more kills. They're farming and playing both mid and top lane here in a position where there's just nothing Talon can do to move out on the map.
It's getting very tight. And Beast Coast converge on the tier 2 now. This is going to allow them to swing back into bottom jungle and think about grabbing outposts, making sure there's limited farm for the rest of Talon right now. Waiting for this. It's Aghanim Scepter Monkey King. He's what, 100 gold away? But then he needs the BKB to, again, just feel comfortable fighting.
I don't think this Ags alone changes anything for his ability to team fight. I mean, he could... He's still top, he can come to these fights, but he needs to somehow avoid all the SF nuke damage and things like all the Venge, the Marcy, their stuns, and smoking on through the bottom jungle. Here comes Beast Coast. They're hunting. They're looking for these big kills.
They've scanned the monkey and they've seen Hyde. The fear, the damage from C-Smile.
They're looking for more. They'll take the outpost for now, unfortunately. Oh, actually, K1 in a position where maybe he can find some more here. Or he's going to get picked off.
He's gonna be the one that gets jumped. The lasso inside the Wukongs. He is very tanky. They need the Boundless Strike, and they will pick him off. Beast Coast are trying to get down here, but with the Pig Pole and the Firefly, the Bat and the Monkey King, they're out of there.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta understand what he's thinking there. He's like, okay, we just smoked into their jungle. There's no way they stuck around to keep farming when we were, you know, his teammates had taken the outpost and sweeping through the jungle. Logically, it makes sense that Talon have left this bottom side of the map, but a nice kind of greedy play by Talon sticking around, and they get blessed with a Naga Siren kill. That's a big pickup for them, although they are still playing catch-up donut.
Yeah, 6k behind now. And still a couple of very good observer wards for Beast Coast in that enemy Ancients area. We'll see if they decide to smoke and migrate back up there, because they've spent a lot of time, 20 minutes of defending that top tier 1 tower with tri-lanes and team fights and 5v5s. Looks like for now they're just going to relinquish control, though, give Talon something on the map. They've deserved it with that Naga pick-off. And the consequence is they get the tier 2 bottom lane. They're pinging out the mid tower as well. As K1 pushes in and sends Illusions out to scout out as well.
Still a decent chunk of time left on this Aegis too, as SF going to hit level 15 as well. So we're still asking, like, at some point Beast Coast just went high ground, even when they didn't really want a team fight, just to force Talon to defend, and nobody defended, so they got a tier 3 tower. We'll see if something similar happens again, because level 15 SF, you've got Plague Wards, you can definitely poke at the high ground. Although, yeah, they're pinging it. They're like, hey, we see 4 heroes top. Like, they have to come back and defend if we put SF on the high ground.
Yeah, we have a catapult. We have 311 damage on the SF thanks to Sidekick. He's holding Aegis BKB, and he'll lifesteal a little bit off the creep wave coming in.
Forcing a glyph, that's good in itself too. That just means later on when you go for a push, they're not going to have it. So, you know, and you've now forced 3 TPs back. You do lose your top tier 2 tower, so Talon getting the trades they, the best trades they can get, but they've got to come back once again. See Smile, he's found a new lane to push.
Yeah, there's no blink on Batrider. It does get a good flame break lasso. Aegis going to be taken down here as SF trapped in the Wukongs. We need a song or a swap or something here to save him, because the black hole is there. Shadow Fiend dragged to death. He's gone, and Stinger, he'll join him in the grave. The chase, it's not on though. Talon, they get the 2 kills holding their high ground, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Oh,
any Riptide?
Salves.
One Riptide maybe would have finished him off, but gets back to the fountain safely. Great high ground defense. I mean, putting down the Wukongs, you pull him in far enough, and with the Wukongs down, the rest of the Beast Coast team can't really follow him up. Your best bet there is some kind of like song to disengage, but K1, he's not putting his hero on the front lines. It was just the SF thinking he had the Aegis and could play around that, but Talon understanding that. As long as they get this lasso on him and pull him in, the fight can go well for them. And they did that without a Blink Dagger on Batrider.
Yeah, just that flame break was so sick. Pushing him into the lasso. Perfect play from the bat of Mikoto.
Perhaps it's...
Beast Coast now with everyone alive. Back into action bottom lane.
Yep. Looking for a semi-repeat here. They don't have their whole 5 team. They just got 3 heroes down here, but as mentioned similar to before, like Talon, they got to come back and defend. No one's here except for the Batrider for now.
That's the thing, right? With Black Hole on cooldown, no lasso for 30, no Wukongs for 10. Why not go again?
Absolutely. This may just be a melee Rax here. How do you defend this one? And Talon, they got to come back and defend. No one's here except for the Batrider for now.
That's the thing, right? With Black Hole on cooldown, no lasso for 30, no Wukongs for 10. Why not go again?
Absolutely. This may just be a melee Rax here. How do you defend this one? And great understanding that they don't need not Aegis necessarily to go high ground. The tier 3 tower does reset the glyph, so that may buy time at least for the Wukong to come up, but still no black hole for such a long time.
Yeah, 15 seconds for lasso now. But Mikoto, he's leaving that bottom lane, trying to think about his angle of attack, and there goes the full set of barracks. And now there's no glyph at all, right?
Yeah, you're correct. No glyph for the mid lane. Not sure if they're going to try and push their luck here. The big one that I think Talon really need is this Blink Lasso, which has come back up now for the defense. No Black Hole, but I'd say Black Hole was... I mean, it stopped the SF getting BKB off. He gets BKB, he then, can Requiem and maybe try and turn and fight, and if he somehow gets, like, side click, like, lifesteal back up to full health, but East Coast just going to happily reset. And the safe thing to do here is play around next Roche respawn. I think Talon, understanding that, looking to punish them from playing overly safe and try and go for this big smoke gank, but they've been scanned. They know it's coming. Great awareness from Beast Coast.
Yeah, full read on that. Where's their vision, though? Where's their high ground ward? They're not using it. And the jump on Whisper. Makoto finding Stinger in the back as well. The Wukong's is out. Gojira's in, but C-Smart with his Requiem winds it up. Fears them all back. And Monkey King drops to half HP, but Gojira's going to run away. Lasso now onto the Naga, dragged into the statues of Savage, but the Monkey's dead. Naga Siren has the song to reset. And K1, he shuts it off, knowing the team can pummel down to the rest of Talon and get a triple kill for Whisper. From the grave, he picks up kills due to all that damage over time.
He just made sure he got dispelled. He was the one happy, like sitting in the trees. He tanks the smoke gank, lets himself get... He doesn't... I think a great ward, like that high ground ward for the Radiant team for Talon above the Roshan pit allows him to engage. The problem is, it's on probably the worst hero to engage on. A Venom who gets off his ultimate, gets off the Wraith Pack, so... Make sure he gets all his key spells off, and from there, it just sets up a team fight where C-Smile can just clean up. Same for the Naga. They came so close to killing off K1, but just falling short means it's going to be a second, maybe... No third lane of Rax, but potential Roshan now for Beast Coast 2, depending how long of a respawn it is.
Yeah, and it's the perfect 3 heroes to be alive as well. Naga, SF, plus the Marcy with sidekick. And quickly taking out that mid lane. 2 minutes for Roshan, though, so a bit of time here for Talon to recompose and think about their next move. But I mean, this Enigma is so poor, it feels like. Does he have something on Courier? No, it's just Wraith Pack, Blink, Arcane Boots. Now he's got BKB queued. But even then, there's a swap on the table from Beast Coast.
Talon feeling like they have to play out on the map, contest this Roshan, but... Already Beast Coast with some good vision up. They've got multiple observer wards around that Radiant Triangle that haven't been dewarded yet. Plus the Venom wards, plus the Naga illusions. Plenty of ways to figure out where Talon are on the map.
Yeah, there's no hiding from them. And Whisper finishing off his Lotus Orb now. Another way to deal with this bat. Even the Tusk. Turn around that snowball onto someone. Talon edging forward. But like you said, Beast Coast, they've seen these stragglers coming in. They know that KP, Q, and the rest of Talon, they're all up here.
And Beast Coast, I mean, their cores aren't there. Shadowfiend and Naga were off farming. Shadowfiend's trying to finish this Lincoln Sphere before the next fight. And we'll have it, so that's going to mean he can't just get Blink Lasso to start this fight. They don't have the easiest ways to break this one either.
And I guess you're not that afraid of a sneak Roshan here. Like, okay, you've got Tag Team and Monkey King, but it wouldn't be a fast one from Talon.
Yeah.
Beast Coast with all the time in the world to secure their position around the pit.
They've got all these Plague Wards outside. Like, yeah, you could maybe smoke in, but they've also got Naga illusions to scout this, so I think you're right. There's no real fear of that. And given the lane pressure going both mid and bottom too, they know they can't really commit to Roshan here. As Venom Wards will just, keep scouting out, figuring out where they are. Finds the observer
jump from
ward.
Hyde.
Okay.
They're on to Whisper. The Stinger swap, though, allows Whisper safety. Vengeful Spirit getting his teammates out of danger while the Black Hole catches the SF. The solo attempt onto Chris Luck. Lassoing up too, but Makoto got dragged into that as well. Beast Coast, they do lose 2 heroes, though, but with K1 and Gojira still alive, you've got multiple carries still in play for Beast Coast.
Yeah, they're charging
Unleash,
forward.
sidekick. Naga Siren looking for the ensnare, but there's a blink out.
And that's a good fight for Talon, but they have to use absolutely everything. Black Hole, Wukong, all their BKBs. And as we saw last time, when these spells go on cooldown, you just get ran at and dove. QCM gets caught out in the top lane. Roshan is back online if Beast Coast want to go for that. They can take Roshan and then probably even go for a push while Black Hole is still down. 2 minutes without it is just such a long wait for Talon, who... No SF does mean this Rosh is going to go pretty slowly, but I feel like with the lane pressure from Naga illusions, there's not really any threat here.
Yeah, almost an inevitability now. No Black Hole, no Lasso, no Wukongs. Beast Coast take the Rosh and likely can head straight up to that top tier 3 tower. And then Naga Siren with her win rate 70 to 80%. Oh, Makoto.
No BKB.
You're right.
I think he's rightfully trying to contest Roshan, but he's just going to feed away his own life. Plus the gem here. I mean, it's such a tough spot. You give the mages there, and you know there's no SF, so if you contest Roshan, you want to do it now before he respawns, but yeah, it's tricky.
And now Chris Luck, the one target that you've been trying to go on consistently, he's got himself Lincoln's BKB Aegis. And yeah, we saw there the Aghanim Shard on the Venomancer, latent toxicity.
An apt spell for such a toxic hero.
It's a pretty cool one. We saw it a few times in regionals, and I wasn't quite sure what it did, honestly. I had to have Sheepstick to explain exactly how it works. But every time you Dispel or BKB or anything, this stun goes through that stuff and catches you out. So if Monkey there gets tagged by some Veno spells, gets toxified up, or he just gets swapped in. It just gets swapped in to all the damage from Beast Coast and forces a buyback immediately.
Yep. You don't need
the
swap
no
hole.
BKB.
There's no black hole, so you can use the swap aggressively.
Stinger. He's going to get caught in the Wukongs, but that's another big spell expended for a support kill.
That's Megas.
Crystal Maiden dead for 40 now, and Mega creeps up for Beast Coast.
Well, it's do or die. They'll get enough time to maybe get one more black hole team fight off, but this is an Enigma still without BKB and a Beast Coast team with 4 minutes of Aegis left in hand still, so they can happily just reset, maybe wait for their Venge to be back alive so they've got the black hole cancel and then go for the tier 4s, go for the throne.
Yeah, Beast Coast showing their resilience here. They're basically an elimination series in this best of 2 in the group stage. Coming out incredibly hot.
This feels like the series, whoever gets 2-0 here is probably going home. Mathematically, I don't think it's going to be the case. There's still, at least 2, maybe 3 series left for Talon, but, odds are they're going to lose a couple of games in those series and find themselves in the bottom 2 if they get 2-0 here. And we're headed that direction. They need some kind of miracle this game.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Talon, all eyes on KP then, I guess. And what's he going to do? Disassemble Arcane Boots, sell Arcanes, sell your stick, try and buy BKB.
And then the question is, how do you stop the Venge swap? Whose job is it going to be to address Stinger?
I guess a conversation between Makoto and Savage. What exactly they can do as Whisper, he just jumps straight into Fountain. Was that a 5-man Poison Nova?
Stop the blinks and keep them at bay while you go for the tier 4 towers.
They can't come out of that Fountain. The glyph, it's expired, and see Smile, he's shredding through buildings. Thinking about the Requiem here, and Talon, they've got to do something. Enigma, still no BKB, and 23 Savage, half health with a Spirit Vessel and all that toxic stuff on him. Noise on the ground as the 4-staff there, the Bat Rider, trying to get in onto the SF, but the swap is out.
Possible black hole now.
Siren to try and protect them as well. Savage does get the first kill, but see Smile black holed up with the Marcy there. KP from the trees. They find the jump. Opening here for Talon to defend their base, but the buybacks from Beast Coast. They'll all return to this fight. Now the black hole's down. The Requiem's coming. No, see Smile 4-staffed away. Snowball to buy time for the Tusk. Still the Maiden going to get 2 hit down by the Shadow Fiend, and Talon running out of options. Savage is back in onto see Smile, but the life steal out of the sidekick. This SF will not die.
Still alive.
Kills the Monkey King and somehow is still alive. GG called and Beast Coast. A 2-0 victory over Talon.
Very decisive game 2. Game 1 was close. It was definitely a bit of a kind of comeback with Talon having such a good early game, but this time around, Beast Coast showed up. This laning set, top trial lane. Like, Talon are the ones who kind of forced. They were the ones who chose a trial lane. Like the Marcy had to TP from bottom to top to join in and make it a trial lane versus trial lane. And I think you mentioned it was like 9 kills to 1 in that top lane favoring Beast Coast.
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting how they managed to do that.